peace that surpasses all understanding. What the hell did he do? He shaved his beard. He trimmed his beard. What did he do? Yeah, I did. So what? Wow, you guys. I went on a cruise last week to Bermuda, and while the result didn't render I didn't receive the result. Like, the whole idea was to find work in Bermuda and the possibility of moving down there. There's plenty of work, but as far as moving down there, if you're from Canada or Great Britain, easy peasy. Bermuda is a British colony, so you can move from Canada or Great Britain to Bermuda like you're moving down the street. As far as being an American moving to Bermuda, it's not that easy. So my pursuit has not ended. It's just maybe not Bermuda. You know what I mean? U.S. Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos. You know, I mean, there's, Jamaica. Who knows, man? There's plenty of other places to look. Very exciting, and just some. You guys, man, this is the way. This is the way. I'm just blown away, man. I'm blown away. When you get out of your own way and let the universe do what it's going to do, and you set your intention, yeah, I would like this, or I would like that, I want, this is something that's important to me, when you set that intention and then you get out of the way and let stuff unfold, man, I'm telling you. So something, I met some amazing people on the cruise. There was a lot of density too. You pack. I don't even know. The ship was huge. 5,000 people, maybe on that cruise. 3,000 people, 5,000 people. I don't know, man. There was a lot of people. But you pack that many people together, and you're gonna get a full variety of every walk of life, man. And I was the beach bum dude on the ship. I was the guy walking around in my, hey, Dave, if you see this, Dave. This guy Dave pulled me aside before I trimmed my beard. I had a job interview. It went very well. I'll get to that later. But there was a younger guy, younger than me, so therefore younger. But he pulled me aside. He's like, "You look just like the Dos Equis guy." I don't always drink beer, but when I do drink beer, I drink Dos Equis. But he was a fucking great guy, Dave, man. If you see this, you were definitely one of the best parts of the trip, man. Your enthusiasm and your joy for life, man. Just rock on, dude. Don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose that. That is very unique and very rare and very precious, man. Hold on to that shit. But so many different amazing people that I met. Kelly, Lynn, Donna, Ramona. My God, it just, Deborah. All these just terrific people, Yeah, a lot of women, but I met a lot of cool guys, but more often than not, the guys, they just want to talk about work or something, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, go have another beer, dude, whatever. And but Dave, man, Dave, rock on, dude. You were one of the coolest people I met on that whole fucking ship, truly. But ladies, yeah, thank you so much for your time and loved hearing your stories, and it was terrific. But so check this out. Something happened on the ship, and I happened to be there. Now I have, whatever. Something happened on the ship. Somebody had an issue, and I helped them. Okay? Somebody had an issue on the ship, and I helped them. Whatever. Something that you would do, something I hope anybody who saw this going on would have helped. You know, like in it, you see a person pulled over on the side of the road because they got a flat tire and they're in the middle of nowhere. I'd like to think people would stop and offer help. You know what I mean? One of those situations. So I was in a situation like that, and come to find out, after I got home, there was people from the cruise contacting me, and saying, yeah, we saw what you did. We saw what you did. And that was fucking cool. There were some people on the ship. We saw what you did. While I was still on the cruise, I saw what you did last night. That was cool. Whatever. And I get home, and like the next day or the next couple of days, I received a chat message from one of the people that I was friendly with on the ship. And Lynn, thank you very much. And I'm humbled. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. Thank you to the universe. Thank you for people who are nice, and generous and kind. And, she among her friends, they saw what had happened that night. And very kind, very, very benevolent, very thoughtful and considerate person, and she reached out to me via chat, and her husband, and a group of her friends are like kind of what if I understand it correctly, they're like frequent flyers on cruise ships, and they've been on so many cruises that they've accumulated free cruises, for lack of a better word. And as a grace to me, they've included me, and basically given me a free cruise for June 5th of 2020. She was like, we saw what you did that night, and that was pretty cool, and we just wanted to do something nice for me, and it's a very humbling experience, you guys. This happened yesterday, and how very grateful I feel, just let's say it doesn't work out for whatever reason. She gave me the name and the number of the guy to contact with the cruise line, and excuse me, very humbling, But regardless, whether or not it works out or doesn't work out, and I'm able to go or not go or whatever, the mere fact that they reached out to me and were so generous and thoughtful and kind and compassionate, and I'm those moments when you kind of look at humanity and you're going, man, people suck, and then you get people like Lynn and her husband and her group of friends that I'm just blown away by that. I'm awestruck, it lifts my spirit, and it refreshes hope within me that there is truly good in the world. There's decency in the world. There's people who give a shit, and how refreshing that was, and what a difference it made meeting these folks on the cruise ship, but the relationships that I'm forming with some of them now post trip, that I've decided that we're gonna, hey, we're gonna stay in touch, and then to come home, and that entire trip, I've basically been virtually unemployed. I've been unemployed for several it's a long story, whatever. But so I went on this cruise kind of on a bare bones, and I had a great time. And I'm telling you, cruising, you guys, going on a cruise, dollar for dollar, you're gonna get the most bang for your buck. You know what I mean? This 7-day cruise was $800, 800 American dollars. So that's probably about 1,000, maybe a bit more than 1,000 in British pounds or whatever. But you can't get a hotel room for less than $100 a night. And this included everything: the activities on the ship, some of the whatever. For 7 days of awesome fun. I had a blast. So if you have never been on a cruise, man, cruises get a bad rap. Oh, somebody got sick or this happened or that happened. Yeah, there's always the idiot who should probably stay at home, who shouldn't be going on a trip. He should be in the hospital, but, and he covers his cough when he's going through, because they ask you when you're getting on the ship, have you been experiencing symptoms, We don't want an outbreak on the boat, so usually it's a human error. Somebody gets on the ship that they shouldn't, and a whole bunch of people get sick. It's stupid. Think of others. I'm gonna light this. See, and I had almost I'm probably gonna cough. We went body surfing, paddle boarding, whatever. The waves weren't great, and I've been swimming since I was a little kid, and there was a couple of us, and there was a new person who was trying to do paddle boarding, standing up on the board and doing the paddle board. So there was a couple of us that were helping this person learn how to get up on the board, and they lost their balance and they started to fall, and it pushed away, and I dived. I went to dive in to grab the board. Something you've done a million times, swimming, but for some reason on this one particular dive, I must have had my mouth open. I inhaled something, whatever. It was like a borderline like drowning accident. I was coughing water out of my lungs. I'm all over the place. I'm still feeling the enthusiasm from the trip. Here it is a week later. And I'm still kind of. But anyway, so I go on the cruise. I'm virtually unemployed. I've been doing some private work, kind of doing a favor for a friend kind of work, and that's been supplementing and doing day labor. And if you guys aren't aware of that, there is day labor. If you're ever out of work, there's in the company that I'm thinking of here in the United States, it's called Labor Ready, and it's day labor. You go in the morning, you sign your name, and you go help a contractor clean up his work site, or depending on your skill set, you can find any kind of work, for a day, and typically they pay you right at the end of the day. So I get back from the cruise, and okay, time to knuckle back down and find a job, And I had a few contacts with this particular company prior to my cruise, and they were very accommodating. No, go on your cruise, have a great time, and we'll talk when you get back. And we had phone phone messages, emails, and then I got back, and boom, as soon as I got back, they're back in contact with me, and just, if you were to look at my work history, I would invite you to go to my Facebook page, right, and go on whatever it is, that personal info, and look up my work history, right? It's on there. People might look at my work history and go, doesn't that guy just have a career? it's very eclectic. There, healthcare, counseling, restaurants, construction, excavation. I was a shop owner for many years, I've been an LNA, a CNA, an EMT, an OR tech, an ER tech. I don't get bored. I just whatever, and it just seems like, there's a natural progression to move on to something else, either by my choice or by the employer's choice, But so I go to this job interview, and the job itself is for a maintenance assistant maintenance manager for a rehab center that deals with dementia and combat vets. And today, during my final interview, which went very well, I happened to really pick up, it was obvious. Like the first time that I went in there, I saw a couple of guys, younger than me, so therefore younger. A couple of younger guys in wheelchairs, missing limbs, paraplegic, combat vets, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, etc., etc. But during the interview, I was interviewed for a maintenance position, but with the president, the facility president, and she made it very clear that we are not a nursing home. We are a rehab center, rehabilitation, get better, go home kind of thing. It was a very pleasant experience. But she looked at my work history and very eclectic. Like, well, yeah, you've done a little bit of everything. Well, yeah, that's right. I like learning new shit, and whether I put it into professional practice or not is a different story. I took I am a non-licensed clinical social worker. I am a non-licensed massage therapist. I never went for my certification, but I took the classes. I did my practicals and et cetera, et cetera. But I was being a non-clinical social worker. As long as you were working toward your degree or working toward points or credits, college credits, etc., you could practice your profession as long as you were working toward it. And she was very excited when I offered to do more than just maintenance, and I started off talking about LNA and CNA, nurse's assistant, certified nurse's assistant, licensed nurse's assistant, EMT, emergency medical technician. If a nurse or somebody needs help, I'm happy to help. I have experience, a fair amount. 10 years in a hospital, 4 years in nursing homes and rehab centers, and then a buttload of maintenance experience. Counseling, and she was so jazzed. She's like, would you be, she said, a lot of our employees are cross-trained. They do more than just one job here. And she's like, would you be willing to go back and get your certification and your licensing? And I'm like, yeah, of course, makes the job a whole lot more interesting when you're not just stuck doing the same thing every day, maintenance or. I didn't tell her that I cooked too, awesome stuff. Anyway, today was my fifth interview, because I had actual interviews over the phone. I had interviews in person, but today was kind of like the final interview. And before I left the office, if any of you know about working in a healthcare facility, a lot of jobs for that matter, but very, very strictly in a healthcare facility, they have to do a thorough background check on you, and not only, not only for felonies, but what's called a CORI check, CORI, and I can't remember what it stands for, CORI. Basically what it is Interpol. They run your name through Interpol, and it's very expensive. It's, $300. So she said to me, before the end of the interview, okay, so we're going to run your background check. They're already investing money in me. I've got the job. She couldn't say that, and she said that I can't say you've got the job because we don't have the background check cleared, but they're doing the background check. I'm like, yeah, no problem, whatever. I'm good. It'll come back clean. But she said, you'll hear from us possibly before the end of the day, before the end of the weekend, or Monday. And the job is mine. So I'm very excited about that. Feel my shoulders drop. One less thing to worry about. And it'll be doing something, one, in maintenance that I'm not only proficient at, but I will be dealing with some old folks, which I really enjoy, and experiencing life and death in that facility, working with people on a personal level, which I feel uniquely called to my entire life. I've always been that person that, a stranger will walk up to me and tell me their life story, or unload on me their deepest, darkest, and I'm like, yep. So it just, all these divine coincidences, and looking back at the trip, all the anxiety I had about going on the trip, and then once I was on the trip, spending at most the entire 7 days, 8 days, the entire time, maybe 10 minutes total combined of the entire trip where I was feeling any bit anxious about what was going to happen job-wise when I got home. Just amazing stuff, and if I had gone on that cruise for no other reason than that one experience that I had, that these folks saw, and if I had gone on that cruise for no other reason than that, it would have been completely worth it. It would have been completely worth it. I was in the right place at the right time, and I would love to think that anybody given the same circumstances that I was in would have done the same thing. A person on the side of the road with a flat tire, as an example. But the everything is a spiritual experience. Everything. The moment I stepped on that ship to the moment I stepped off, and the interactions that I've had with some YouTube friends, internet friends, and how fortunate I feel to have such wonderful, unique, gifted people in my life, and generous people. People that were strangers 2 weeks ago are people who I would now consider growing healthy friendships. People that I admire, people that I have respect for, people that have restored my hope in humanity. That people aren't jerks. There's some pretty awesome people out there. They're just maybe a little bit harder to find or spot, and how grateful I am for those relationships that are forming. Being who I am, I spend a fair amount of time by myself, and I'm totally cool with that. But I definitely have become a lot more selective and discerning about the type of people that I want to be around. And that entire trip, I was attracting people that are like me, and or that I resonate with, just, it's a good day, guys, and every day is a good day. It's all a spiritual experience, and if we're able to just get out of our own way and let the universe do for us what we cannot do for ourselves, you know, that there's plenty of help out there, you know. And tonight, you know, I'm going to go have dinner with my stepdaughters. You know, I've been divorced for quite a few years, but I still have a relationship. And I'm going out for dinner with my stepdaughters tonight. One of my stepdaughters came over last night. I'm like, my life. This is my life. This is life. You know, like, where was I? Where was I for the first 40, you know, the first 35 years of my life when I got, you know, it's like, it's all the spiritual experience. It's all divine, you know, and to feel and sense my own infinity, and to be able to share that with my daughters and new friends and people that show up in my life. It's just fantastic. You know, I am awe-filled, you know. With that being said, I see you. I am you. You're me. We're one. When I heal, you heal. We all heal. When I have joy, we all have joy. Spread that shit around. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. Make eye contact with somebody. Be excellent to each other. Reach out your hand, you know, and live. Truly live, you know, from a place, you know, from here. You know, not this mindset of live from here. It's a beautiful way to go. This is the way. I love you guys. I'm out. Have a great night.